very warm welcome to Meditation Mount and this full moon meditation in the solar sign of Pisces, when the moon is actually in Virgo. So let's begin as we normally do by gathering ourselves together in virtual space. We're in different parts of the world, but we're present together. So let's do that by taking a deep breath and entering that still inner state of peace we find inside the heart. Become aware of the beating of the heart. Become aware of the many hearts on this call beating. And as they beat, they synchronize to form one group heartbeat. And then we link with lines of lighted love each of these hearts, heart to heart to heart, weaving together around the world a matrix that is the chalice of our group heart. Thank you. So the water sign of Pisces is governed by Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter is the exoteric ruler representing the second ray energy of love wisdom, and Pluto is the esoteric or hidden ruler that carries the first ray energy of will and power. And the influence of Pluto often leads to the dissolution of those forms which no longer are able to contain the new dispensation of spiritual energies. So we find that Pluto frequently brings about the death or ending of old forms that delude and imprison human consciousness. And that's sort of what's happening on our planet at the moment. But this process is greatly magnified at the beginning of any new era, when the note of divine purpose is resounded to create the forms of the next cycle. And we are told that there are three effects upon the form life caused by sounding the new note of will and spiritual power. Here you can see at the top of the image is this giant tuning fork, which we could say is the note of divine purpose that is sounded and resounded at the beginning of each major era, each major civilization. And it sends out its note, and it has one of three effects on form. If the form is healthy and whole and is still of service to this new note, it simply is strengthened and further organized. And that's the image to the left. Now in the middle, if there is pure intent to bring through the new note, yet the vehicle that we occupy, the form, is not quite in alignment with the new note, then we find ourselves getting shaken up. It's a cathartic experience. It's a process of purification. And I think many of us find ourselves in that state where we seek to do the higher will, and yet what we've created so far as a vehicle of expression needs a little bit more refinement and purification. And then on the right, we have those forms that in no way can respond to the new note. And therefore, they disintegrate, they fall apart because there's nothing holding them together. So these are the three effects on forms the sounding of the divine note of purpose. And once again, this is a good way of looking at what's happening on the planet at the moment. Everything we're experiencing in our human society is amplified and magnified by the fact that we are entering this new era, and a new note is being sounded from the depth of the planet, from the depth of Gaia. It's calling forth a new expression of itself. So that was Pluto. So let's look at the characteristics now of Jupiter. So Jupiter carries the energy of love and joy. In fact, Jupiter is called Jove in Latin, and those people embodying the qualities of this planet are therefore referred to as being jovial or joyful. So we're familiar with that phrase. So Jupiter has to do with birth and transformation, which are naturally sources of joy, for they allow the spiritual nature to rise from the depths into the elevated realms of consciousness. And so Pisces and its attendant energies amplify and facilitate this needed process of transformation for the whole of humanity. So each sign in the zodiac has a spiritual motto. And the motto associated with Pisces is, I leave the Father's home, and turning back, I save. I leave the Father's home, and turning back, I save. So why don't we have a look at what does it mean to save? What does it mean to be a savior? For me, a savior is not a comic book superhero that goes around fixing everything on behalf of society. The savior, for me, is an archetype that represents the embodied soul qualities that are needed to heal humanity. And for each of us in our own way to be a savior and a saving force, we need to develop qualities such as compassion. Compassion is a secondary quality, but when it's stimulated by the first ray of will, then love expresses as the will to save. So in the coming era, it is said that the savior is in fact the unified soul of humanity itself, as it seeks to occupy the personality, which is its active agent on earth. So the savior is not an external force. The saving force is that power which is generated when the soul occupies the personality, when we show up in our fullness. Another thing to look at is that each zodiacal sign transmits a specific quality of light. And the quality of light related to Pisces is called the light of the world. And this is the light which reveals the light of life itself. And this light ends forever the hold of the darkness of matter upon human consciousness. And incidentally, the world's savior is also called the light of the world. So Pisces really is the sign of the savior. And it's said that the destiny of humanity is itself to become the light of the world, not just to have one person embodying that, but eventually all of us becoming the light of the world. So the opportunities we have in Pisces are really to let go of the old forms that no longer serve, and then to bring in this force of love that occupies our daily life, that takes up residence on earth as this saving force. So with all of this in heart and mind, let's move into the meditation, which will be led by Diana.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Meditation Mount, the beautiful beacon of light on the hill. It's so good to be with everyone tonight on this big full moon, the last full moon of the zodiac, Pisces, like Michael was talking about. That it's the end of the cycle. And the next full moon will be the Aries cycle. And so we begin again, right? So it's a time of taking stock of the year in a way from Pisces to Pisces. And coincidentally, the whole time of COVID has been from Pisces to Pisces, which is interesting. We're just kind of coming out of it now. And I really do believe that at this time, that things are going to get a lot easier than it's been this last year. Things are starting to move again in a lot of different ways. And I always think of my grandfather used to fix clocks, those little clocks that you would put in your pocket watch, right? And he would fix them and he would show them to me, and I would see how when he turned one wheel, all the other little wheels would spin. And it feels like that's what's happening right now. This big wheel is turning as we enter, coming into this next cycle and finishing this one. All the little wheels begin to turn with it. And so it's a powerful time, and it's always good to be conscious about putting something down before you begin again. And so as you sort of review this last period of this last year, how has this all been for you? And what are you releasing and what are you beginning? Because we're at a time of beginnings again coming up soon. And you can almost feel the engine, of the forward motion of what's coming next as we move into this next new cycle. So it's really powerful times. And I can feel everybody here in this meditation right now. I can feel the connection, because there are people from all around the world right now in this meditation, in this specific meditation. And there are people all around the world that are meditating and that are holding the note for us all, that are holding the energy of love and love wisdom, second ray Pisces, right? It's a second ray sign. And we're all holding for this birthing, right, of love on the planet. And we've been through so many trials and tribulations this year and then last year, that our job as conscious soul is to keep holding the love, holding for the love, holding with each other, not losing heart, right? To not be discouraged, discouraged. To keep our hearts up, to stay in the joy, even in the face of things that are difficult and challenging. And so that's the opportunity always, every day of our lives, to work inside that joy, to work inside that light, to keep holding up the vision of the divine plan and where we all stand within it, with each other, and take our place, right? To be a point of light, to be a lighthouse, that we radiate that light of the knowing, of keeping that consciousness up, and to hold the vision, because despair and discouragement and fear bring the energy down, bring us all down, and add to the fuel of that fire. Or you can raise to the fire in the heart, that fire light that shines and shows the way. And when we meditate, we're increasing that. We're increasing that in ourselves, and we're increasing that in the world, and we're increasing it with each other, and we become a literal orchestra of love. And I love that image that Michael showed of the tuning fork. I relate to that as a musician, the sounds of things. I think things feel vibrational for me. I hear sound as a physical sensation. And that vibration of the universe, right? The Om, that sounds through us all, that is making an impression, that is sending the light of this next wave of this full moon in Virgo, in solar Pisces, it sends a note, and our whole self is vibrating to that. And as we become more attuned to it, we can very quickly line up to the new sound, to the divine plan. And so when we go into the meditation in a moment, part of what's happening is we're tuning our instrument, right? We're coming more into tune with all that is. And we become part of it. We become an instrument, right? We become an instrument of thy peace. Make me an instrument of thy peace. And we sound our note, connected to the note, as we sound it together. And so in this moment, as we are in this solar Pisces, is where the egoic personality harmonizes with the soul, right? It becomes one, it blends, it becomes one. And so we're going to use our breath, and I'm going to use my bell to sound a note, to use our breath consciously to balance with each other and balance our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, and our mental bodies into tune, intuned, attuned. So here we go. So when you're ready to, we'll just use the breath to align the physical body. So taking a breath gently, inhale, and exhale, aligning the physical body. And take another breath to align the emotional body. Exhaling. And finally, taking another breath to align the mental body, inhaling and exhaling. Gently aligning into your own heart now. Feeling your attunement within the soul, to the self, with the self. Gently being aware of all beings, all consciousness, all light to light, love to love, heart to heart. We are connected all around the world. Feeling that connection through your heart center, which can hold it all, which can hold all light and connect to all light. Just sense all the awarenesses, all the points of light around the planet that aspire, and all the aspiration in every heart that aspires. We connect to this together, light to light. A symphony of light, of connected consciousness, grounded in the heart center. And as you ground through the heart center, feel that line all the way to the mother of the world, feeling the connection to our own earth. And all the way to Sirius, through the heart of the sun, feeling this connection, love to love, light to light, all through your heart center. Om. And from the heart center, sending a line of light now, like a silver thread, all the way into the head center, to the cave. And take your seat as consciousness, conscious soul, conscious awareness in the center of the heart of the cave. Om. And from this place, you can sense the cosmos and all that is. You can sense the soul. And so from the heart of the heart to the heart of the head center to the heart of the soul, feel this ideal alignment in the heart of the soul to you. And feel this growing relationship. This growing relationship, this increasing, deepening conversation, this dialogue between the abstract and the physical. And still in that same line, from the heart to the heart of the head, to the heart of the soul, to the heart of the sun, Pisces, solar Pisces, full moon Virgo. Solar Pisces as the particular expression of light that moves through that Piscean sun. And feeling the heart of the sun connecting to the heart of Sirius. And all the masters and teachers that hold in all kinds of geometrical configurations the tuning for the divine plan. At the center of the heart of the head, sense all of this. And we'll use as our seed thought for about 10 minutes in silence this phrase. The plan is being revealed, and I am understanding and take my place. Into the silence, take this. The plan is being revealed, and I am understanding as I take my place. plan is being revealed, and we are understanding, and we take our place as conscious light in the world. Letting these energies begin to blend and harmonize into your body being, mind, heart, body, becoming part of your DNA, becoming part of your cell structure, being part of your mind matter. Reflecting through your breath and your thoughts and your awareness. Om. Receiving this, map this awareness as an attunement, becoming one with it and one with each other. As we carry this light out into the world. You can say this with me or just follow along. Great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Diana. So let's take a few moments now just to be with the energy that has been invoked and generated as we create this group chalice to receive the outpourings of the divine plan, knowing that love is the great saving force and the great healer. And the chalice of our group heart is filled to the brim with love. And whatever we receive, we give. And so let us complete this full moon meditation with an act of group blessing. Let us see the truth, the goodness, and the beauty of the human soul take up residence on earth as the saving force, as a force for love. And we will lift the chalice of the group heart filled with love, and we will pour it out in 3 waves into the world. And so wherever you are, see these waves emanating from you around the world, carrying with them the blessing of love. And we'll do this 3 times as we sound the bowl. So with each sounding, send out this wave of love as the saving force. And as we stand together as the light of the world, we know that the darkness of ignorance, separation, and hatred is vanquished forever. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you for your presence and your participation today. And may we go forth bringing love into the world, wherever and whenever we find ourselves. So blessings from Meditation Mount, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.